All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't think we were as prepared to do that as possible. Give everybody just a second here to jump back in. Are you able to go back to the other live chat? And
No,
no.
there's no live chat. It's already ended, so
Oh.
won't be doing that again.
All right. Well, there is one person at least watching. So, all right, Benjamin, just for you. Yeah, we were not ready to do that. Accidentally hit the wrong button on the phone, so it was way laggier than I was hoping that would be. So maybe in the future we just record a bunch of aquariums and then we just talk about it on the live chat, so that way there isn't a bunch of lag. So. All right. So jumping back into everything, I don't even know where I was. I know I believe we were talking to somebody. Oh, the green steels, John. Sorry, we weren't able to show you the green steels on video, but I'll try and take a photo of them and post them in the next week or so. So, all right. So when jumping back into the whole thing, orange eye blue tigers. The first real major cross that hit the market that was widely available was the orange eyed yellow King Kong. That has to be probably the most resilient, the most hardy, the easiest to obtain, also orange eyed shrimp out there. Uh, Fairly speaking, they breed pretty true. They do throw a few culls that come out with barely to any uh, coloration on them at all. And then, but they do have the orange eye still. All of them will have the orange eye. If both parents have the orange eye, then of course,
Oh my God.
what's up?
So apparently, give us 1 second. We have half of the people watching a different stream. So apparently, I started the old one over, so half the people are in there, and I don't know how to stop it. I don't like stream.
Oh man.
When you don't know what you're doing, look at that in stream early. There we go. I apologize. This is terrible. I feel so old.
We should have just done the general discussion like I wanted to. I feel like this is not going to get the justice of a stream that it deserves.
Yeah.
Anybody have questions? Feel free to hit us with them. Maybe I'll try the good old orange eyed all over again in the next year.
It must be something about the color orange, which is it's just bad luck at this point.
Well, the orange eyed yellow King Kongs, of course, you have to use a yellow King Kong and an orange eyed blue tiger. I'm not sure how they refined them to get the tiger stripes out so easily. You would have thought that the orange eyed yellow tiger would have been a thing way beforehand. But surprisingly enough, we have the orange eyed yellow King Kongs hit the market, and they're one of the most stable orange eyed shrimp out there, period. They're about $10 a piece. I don't think we have any on the website right now, just because we talk about them good enough that people want to start crossbreeding and starting out their own projects. And orange eyed yellow King Kongs really are like the best way to do that. Orange eyed blue tigers are just a little bit more sensitive. They don't breed as fast. They don't grow as fast. So when you're wanting to try and crossbreed something, it's like the difference between using a tangerine tiger or an aurora blue. You just go with that tangerine, even though it's orange in color. You know that the genes, the hardiness, it's going to be worth it in the end game.
I'll just make this part 2 after failure, so okay. It'll just link together, hopefully. So apologize for that again. QJF, sorry. Okay, so all orange-eyed shrimp have tiger genes, and if so, then would it even be possible to make an all-white orange-eyed shrimp with no tiger stripes?
It is possible, but they all have tiger genes to my knowledge. They've all been crossbred with orange eyed blue tigers and then refined and then You know what I mean? Kept true just through selective breeding. But it is possible for somebody to get the mutation. There are other shrimp out there that have an orange eye, like the cardinal sulawase. They just happen to be the most common shrimp that's bred and mass produced. So the mutation would happen to fall out in those for that type of shrimp. The harlequins, the yellow cheekies, they're just not as easy. Not as many people breed them. So the chance of that mutation popping up isn't as high. I'm not sure if it's like a melanistic or a lewistic or something like that, where the coloration of the eyes is just a common trait in invertebrates or what. I haven't really looked into that much, but with the all orange-eyed shrimp with no tiger stripes, so like solid orange.
White.
Oh, I'm sorry. All white, yeah. So you could have basically a Snow White with orange eyes. It wouldn't be an orange-eyed Snow White, but over time you could selective breed.
Someone said that they had it in the last chat. I was trying to bring it up, but ultimate fail on my part. I'm never gonna live this down.
I've never seen one, but I'm sure the ghost bees come close, but it's not like a solid white.
Mm-hmm. And then, so where does the orange originate from?
So more than likely, it's a super tiger that had a genetic mutation in the eye, and mutations are like winning the lottery. They're not going to happen for everybody. You could breed millions of shrimp and never get that mutation. So the fact that there's orange-eyed sulawase shrimp is the only other mutation that I've ever heard of coming across. And there hasn't been another person that's just come out and go, oh, this mutated out of that with any actual proof. There has been a few people that gotten weird orange eyes out of like fancy tigers and something like that, but there was orange eyes in the beginning of those projects. So there was a deep recessive gene mutation, not really. So
Benjamin Peters says, how's the raccoons looking, Grant? We don't have them on the website?
No.
Oh.
Should they be on the website?
Yeah, they can go back on the website. We have 2 tanks.
All right. I guess they're good enough to go back on the website.
Have 3 tanks. I wouldn't touch the other tank, but...
Which tank wouldn't you touch?
In Jaden's room.
No. I don't see it fine.
Yeah, I just don't touch it. It's our mother tank. But yeah, those are... Yeah, we'll get those back on the website. I'll probably do that while we're sitting here, maybe. Yes, sorry. It really was me. It's funny because we have done this before, so deja vu all over again. We did it there. It was me again last time too. I went to end the same exact. The problem is I'm on StreamYard, not realizing it's under our account, so I hit end and it ends the whole thing. I don't understand why it won't let me just restart it. If it's an accident, but.
I thought I was gonna have to pull you up and do everything, and then you just popped up, and I was like, "Oh, all right."
Because it's yours. It's the dumbest thing. We'll figure it out one of these days. And I still can't pronounce this. What is the genetic difference between orange-eyed blue devils and SSS orange-eyed blue steels? Are orange-eyed blue devils considered King Kongs? Also, hook up the camera to the PC for a better bandwidth. We wouldn't be able to go very far, though.
Yeah. So with the orange-eyed blue devils, it's more like just a hybridized orange-eyed black or orange-eyed royal blue tiger that still looks like an orange-eyed royal blue tiger, but you can't call it that because it doesn't have those genes and those exact oh my god, it's not that recipe. it would be a pure Caridina Maria if it was an orange-eyed blue tiger, but since it's not and it's a hybrid, you have to call it an orange-eyed blue tiger. I'm sorry, I had a total brain fart. But then the orange-eyed blue steels would actually be what you would consider an orange-eyed blue steel that was, bred out. If it's SSS, it should have a lot of white in it and not be, solid head to toe blue steel. But you should see some type of like blue steel pattern to it, where the Blue Devils won't. They should just look like they're royal blue knockoffs.
That was a long answer.
I totally fumbled that one. I caught it in the end though. We scored. We're good.
That's
all right.
That's it for now.
My favorite crosses that I've been working on in the house are the orange-eyed green tigers. Green tiger tanks are all over the house now, but I have just a couple of them that I've been refining to try and get the orange eyes. So normal or green tigers are Aurora blue tiger cross with tangerine. That's to get the green apples. The German method was to do yellow King Kongs instead of tangerines. So I have a couple of tanks where we did that, and then I wanted to add in the orange eyes. So I crossed them back with the black tiger orange eyes. And this is where the tiger hybrids or the mutts that we sell on the website come from. For the most part, they all just look like green tigers. The only real difference, or not green tigers, tangerine tigers with a little bit more striping than normal. And then the big difference is that maybe 1 in 40 of them come out with orange eye. This has only really been a project struggle for me because for whatever reason, the survival rate on the orange eyes is just not very nice or high or well at all. It seems like at any time they get like to 1 centimeter in size, I like never see them again. So I've been experimenting with feeding those tanks a little bit more, not powdered foods, but just trying to make sure that even if they haven't eaten all the food from the previous time, that I hit them sooner than the other tanks get fed. And just make sure there's always a food source in there for them, so they're not getting picked off by the other shrimp or whatever's happening.
Dave O said, I got some of your blue diamonds a couple weeks ago. Should I remove the couple of blacks that are in the group?
If you would prefer the deeper, darker blues, yeah, take out the blacks, but you don't have to remove them. You can have them in the tank, and they're not going to make wilds. So,
Tube Dog says, which sex carries more genes when crossing 2 different types of Caridinas?
It's equal, straight down the middle. Both of them are going to carry it down. The hardest part is finding a really nice male to pass on all of its genes. So you might have 5 males, select the best 2 or 3 of them, cull out the rest, and then you can even have some of your ugly females participate in the breeding efforts and still pull out some really nice genetics out of those. You don't really want to be using ugly males when you've got better males around.
Ray's Fish Room said, Grant, are the blue jelly shrimp a less quality of a blue diamond or a blue dream, or is it a different strain?
So blue dreams originate from blue jellies or blue velvets. Blue jelly and blue velvet are both the exact same shrimp, but the problem is with imports and pet stores and renaming and one trend dying out and a new fad hitting in, they change names and strains get lost, genetics get lost, and what ends up happening is, oh well, blue dreams, blue diamonds, these are the higher grade ones, and anything culled out of those is a blue jelly or a blue velvet, and you can definitely see that in some other lines, but a blue velvet and blue jelly should be solid, like a sky blue coloration to it. and no deeper, darker blue markings to them whatsoever. And then they should breed fairly true. The only thing that I would really accept out of some of my blue velvets would be like a red head or something like that, because they come from blue, red, really blue bodies. So you want to make sure that they don't throw the deeper, darker blue coloration.
And then Coro said, and Sulawesi are Caridina in taxonomy, but do not interbreed with other Caridina like the Serrata that the orange eye come from.
Yeah, that's correct. They're like a different subspecies of Caridina.
That's it.
All right. So with trying to create the orange-eyed green tigers, it's just really been a struggle. I feel like I'm that close. I've gotten some out of the projects that we've had around the house, but I want to get like a tank of orange eyes that are constantly like throwing out orange greenish coloration shrimp that we can eventually start selling orange-eyed green tiger culls on the website, because that's how we do it with the green tigers, because they flip-flop more than blue bolts. And I've gotten some great feedback from people buying our culls, and I like that they're more impressed with how green they are rather than unimpressed with how green they're not.
Scotty said, do we have pure black lines available? Actually sold all the ones. He or she is very, very lonely.
If they're not on the website, they should be. We should have them on the website for sure. That and pure red lines need to be on the website by the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
We have both low grade, not really low grade, but S grade PRLs and then S plus grade PRLs for $10. The S grade will be $5.
I think someone else is asking about that down here later.
All right. So orange-eyed pandas is already a thing. It's technically orange-eyed lapis or lapis. I don't know how to pronounce it, but they're not really a Taiwan bee shadow panda. I'm going to talk more about those. They're on the list in a little bit. Should I just dive into it?
Yep.
All right. Another project.
Here we go.
Oh, go ahead.
Tube Dog's looking for pure red lines, pure black lines, and pandas. Anyone got any for sale?
I have enough pandas that I could let some go to you, and then we have enough of the other ones that we could sell on the website. Whether you're looking for red or shadow pandas or just normal pandas, I could probably let go of like a group of 10 of each.
Okay.
Back to me?
Yeah.
All right. So my favorite cross that we just attempted and achieved is the orange-eyed blue tigers with the red tigers. I'm trying to make our own red tiger with the orange eye. We have a few of them, but we need to go through, cull out all the normal eyes, the normal tigers. I've been talking about that for a long time, where we were making our own normal tigers from scratch. We've achieved that. Last night, I culled out all the normal tigers I can see. It is a moss forest, so I know I left some of them behind. You can pull that down, Richard. We're going to talk about that later on.
Well, I kind of want to talk about it because you need to go fix the lights in our son's room so he can go to bed.
All right, you can talk about it.
So since Grant's got to go do that, Richard, we did not put the racks together yet. It is in the garage. The whole plan was to do the fish room in our bedroom first and then add that to it or add it into the living room. And unfortunately, we did not get approved by our insurance. We are kind of in a limbo right now of what we have to do to get approved and what we need to do. So it's either we might need to move all the tanks out of the house because they did not approve the tanks, or move. We're not really sure what we're going to be doing. So we're kind of stuck at the moment. So we will not be building anything or putting anything together just in case we do have to move or relocate everything. So we're a little bit behind on everything we wanted to do. So all we're doing is maintenance on things, and we will get back to building as soon as we know if we're going to be approved for some sort of insurance, and hopefully things will get better from there. But right now we will not be talking about building anything. And just hopefully we can get back to normal.
So you told him we got
when we
denied.
can. Yes. And whether, we have to move the whole everything or just the tanks, what we're doing. And Florida's not been fun, and the Florida prices for everything is, skyrocketing. So trying to figure things out, and hopefully we can get back to normal. Hopefully we don't really have to move, and we can find some sort of solution because it's not going to be fun.
Everything's paused until we hear back from the insurance company. I've heard stories of people getting charged an extra $1,000 a month for their insurance. And that was a while ago, so I'm sure prices have increased, but also every mortgage company is going to be different. So we just have to wait and see how ours handles it. If it's $1,000 a month, then we're probably going to have to find some place to move all of our aquariums to, figure out if make sure it's at least cheaper than $1,000. Get all the tanks out of here. That way the place pays for itself if we can get that new insurance and get that price down. So hopefully, everything will come back and it won't be that expensive, and we can just, hang out here and keep adding tanks and building racks. But until we can figure it out, it's all on pause, and we'll just be making sure everything else is taken care of properly. We've got Nick Mann from Fish Keeping Simple, or Keeping Fish Simple, and he's going to be coming all the way from Australia to do a tour at the house. So all the tanks are basically making it through the rounds of getting scraped and fully maintenance, so that way it's all on good display for him. Hasn't been like a proper tour of the house in a while, but we're going to be showing it off to as many people as possible if we do have to move. You better believe that. So the other thing we're doing is knocking out as many videos of the place as we possibly can. We did finish the rack at the front door during all of this chaos and madness that we've been going through with the insurance company. So it's cycled, and we need to put shrimp in it so it's not just an empty rack for when Nick comes by. So we went ahead and went through the house last night, culled out pretty much all of my project tanks, some of Shelby's as well. Basically, if it was a cull or it didn't match, didn't fit that project, it wasn't high enough grade, and we just don't have like an open tank or somewhere to put those, we basically added them to the new rack, filled it up probably 90% of the way now. I do have some of my orange-eyed, I crossed orange-eyed yellow King Kongs with the super tigers. That's why I haven't had super tigers in a while, is because during this whole rack process, I had just done that cross, and then I was like, oh, I'll have a bunch of empty tanks and stuff to cull, and we got just too carried away. And the shrimp grew up way fast being super tigers and yellow King Kong genetics. So I lost a whole super tiger colony basically because of it. But in the end, there is an entire tank with like a plethora of different phenotypes that we can go in different directions with. There's some really cool Tybee looking things coming out of it with like yellow, black, and white stripes. Of course, the orange-eyed yellow super tiger basically pattern is what we're going for. I got a few of those. And then, just some weird normal yellow tiger shrimp that I'd like to work with. So might have lost some super tigers, but got 3 breeding projects out of it. So it was worth it.
Zach says, it looks like I missed out on some green emeralds. Any idea when you'll have them back in stock?
I need to sell all the culls first. I don't know how many good ones is like in the stock until the culls are gone. So Anybody buying green emerald culls off the website, you are getting more extras than usual because I'm trying to get this task done. I don't have somewhere for those culls to go. So I need to sell those on the website. It honestly needs to warm up before we sell any of them because it's not looking like much production is going to happen anytime soon. So I would say like 2 months probably until the green emeralds are back on the website. If you watch and you're a regular, I might announce them available on here before then.
QJF said, "Do you guys have any orange-eyed royal blue tigers going? It's the holy grail in my opinion."
We have probably 3 tanks of these going. My only problem is they breed so slow, they grow so slow. They're also one of my favorites, and I don't like to sell them that much. People don't like to pay more than 15 or less than $15 for these shrimp, and some people are selling them for like 24 bucks a piece or $28 each. They're definitely worth it. The demand is definitely there. It's just I sell mine for like 15 bucks and they sell faster than I can hold on to them. So we don't have any available, probably none in the near time future, unless we have to move all of our aquariums, and then I might let some go.
Mimic Nature said, 100% guaranteed. Oh, wait, hold up. Orange eyed 100% guaranteed after crossing F1s back to orange eye, right? Despite lineage, if orange eyed yellow King Kongs crossed with Pintos equals F1, F1 crossed with orange eyed blue tigers still guarantee orange eye?
It should be 100% guaranteed orange eye. Yes, it should be. I just don't know why. In a few cases, there have been a few complaints where they didn't all come out orange eyed. So I don't know if the orange eye is holding like a recessive normal eye trait or something like that, that some of them come out. But in most of my crosses, if it is an F1 from an orange eye cross, then F2 cross back with orange eye is almost 100% of the time orange eye. There was just one instance where I didn't get it. So I think that was with the hollow eye. So I'm pretty sure with orange eye blue tiger, it's 100% orange eye. I just had epiphany on live stream for the first time, probably. Weird feeling. I think it was the hollow eyes that threw everything off for me. Go ahead. Back to you, Shelby.
Back to me. I'm still reading. What did,
All right.
Aquatic Moose said, "What is your nicest, cleanest line? Are you talking Caridina or Neo Caridina?" Mosquitoes. It's cold in Florida. How is there still mosquitoes?
Neocaridina's got to be the yellows. Caridina, I don't know. I haven't thought about that one. Tangerine Tigers. How? Jeez.
The cam person said they posted photos of orange-eyed shrimp with white pigment on Shrimp Keeper. Best regards. So we'll have to find that. Hunt that down.
With white pigment, but is it full solid white, like a snow white?
That'd be cool. Tube Dog says, "I see crystal blacks on the site. What's the major and minor difference with crystals and pure lines?" So pure lines will only throw the white and black. It will never throw any other color, where crystal blacks can throw reds and different colorations out of them because they're mixed with other shrimp.
If you said they posted it on Shrimp Keeper?
Shrimp Keeper. The one you're banned from? I'm not, though. I'll find it. Still don't understand that one. That one's the weird
It's
ban.
because they wanted to ban like the big corporations and stuff from like being able to like even share their photos. And I was like, you're stopping and preventing new innovation and new breeds of shrimp from like entering into the chat, and like the guy didn't like that I didn't like that, and I got banned for it.
I don't think it was a guy.
No, it was a guy that I got into an argument, and then he went to the girl that ran the thing, and then she's like, "I need this person. It's my emotional support animal."
I explained that right? The pure black line come out with only black and white, and the crystal blacks come out with like reds and different colors.
My crystal blacks also have never thrown anything other than crystal blacks, so there might be pure black lines also. But
it's just the slight chance that we don't know where they originate from, so we're not going to say they're pure black lines, but we do have pure black lines.
Yeah.
So what would be a good shrimp to cross with orange-eyed royal blue tigers, or is it red blue? It's royal blue tigers, right? To get something cool with orange eyes.
I mean, sky's the limit. It's honestly, you need to just pick something to try and go out there and create. What's your favorite color? What's your favorite pattern? And then I can tell you what to cross it with. Taiwan B is like the best thing out there because, and then maybe you want to throw in some orange-eyed yellow King Kongs to just like, get the trifecta. You've got the orange eye, you've got the Taiwan B, and you've got the Serrata gene. So you got everything there. Then you should be able to make, branch out into just about everything.
How many tanks would you fit in a storage unit? Apparently, we're from what we heard from other people that they can't have water in storage units. So we were considering that at one point. So,
but here's the thing: like, there's storage units, but then there's like storage units where we got our trailer stolen from, and the guy ran the garage door place out of. Like, he definitely had a sink in there to wash his hands, and like he worked out of that thing the whole day. So maybe not a sink, but there's definitely a faucet outside. I remember washing my hands.
Jeff said, Shelby, I need some high temperature, low TDS shrimp. How is the Amazon line doing? We only have one of those left.
I did find out that there are some local pet stores that are able to bring those shrimp in.
Yeah,
so
we just learned that.
I might have to dip the toes and figure out some wholesalers to try and figure out who's bringing them in and get them off of them. But I never want a middleman shrimp or live goods. I know we do it a little bit with the plants, but like I feel like there's no other way around it. With the shrimp, there's got to be a way around it. And I just wanted like 1,000 of them to breed. And when you tell that to wholesalers, they're like, nah, pay full price. And it's like, that's expensive, man. Kills me.
Mimic said, which orange-eyed line do you find to be the best to use to cross in an orange-eyed trait without contaminating the traits from the other line that you want to keep?
It like really depends on the cross. Like this is a hard question to answer. Orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, there isn't much pattern to them. You can also use the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs that are clear. I've thought about just like line breeding the clear orange-eyed yellow King Kongs to try and use them to crossbreed with other shrimp to like get the patterns out. But I think they'll just bleach the patterns out more than they'll carry on. So I have a list of shrimp that are out there on the market already, and I was going to go over what shrimp I think would be the best to achieve that the fastest.
But I would say if you want to get an orange eye into a line of shrimp that do not have an orange eye, try to find one that someone's already crossed with an orange eye that looks close to your shrimp. That would be the closest genetics of trying to get the same colors. Because like say you do the yellows or the orange-eyed tangerine tigers, you're going to get those traits because they're more dominant than anything. So
what
if
they're trying to make
everything,
orange-eyed German pintos, you don't just want to take the Galaxy pintos because they look like it and try to make it. You want to make sure that you're working with Caradina Maria and Taiwan B only to try and achieve that. So
it's just hard.
It really depends on what your goal is.
Derf Son, thank you so much. Gifted 5 Garden of Eater memberships. Thank you. We always forget the sticker.
There's some by my bed.
Appreciate it. By your bed?
By the bed.
Oh, there's some right
I don't
there.
know where they came
You
from.
explain what they get.
All right, so thank you so much for those that got the 5 membership. You can email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com, where we will send you a code for 10% off our website, tgoeshrimp.com. And you also get a holographic TGOE members only sticker. So we don't just give these out to anybody. You got to be a part of the crew. And yeah, we should be trying to catch up on those stickers. If you have not received the sticker, please email us and we will get those out to you. Even though we've got everything kind of on the grass of the mortgage company, we really don't have much to do until then. So we've got a week or so to catch up on memberships. And then we should also have some more Sam Scales prints arriving here soon, so we can get all of those out to everybody.
Mm-hmm. I already started a list of everyone, and a few people I already have their addresses, so I'll be sending them out in waves. But it's best to email so you can get yours early. Thank you so much. And then there was another one. I already lost it. And goodness gracious.
While you're looking for that, the coloration of the orange eyes is dependent on the amount of chitin or chitin that the shrimp are eating. So pretty much their shell is made up of this, your fingernails, hair, it's all made up of this material. Why'd you make that look? Threw me all off.
It's such a weird word.
And
I'm sorry.
It's pretty much just a thicker, tougher material. And there's a lot of people that will purposely remove the molts out of orange-eyed shrimp tanks, so that way it deprives them of the chitin, and it will turn their eyes silver. So if you are not wanting that and you see that your orange-eyed shrimp have silver, bump up your diet with a little bit of chitin, and it'll vibrant up your eyes a little bit more. I said that all that for you to find it.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Craig, for the $5 super chat. Says, like Tennessee says, share or TN 10.
I don't know. You said Tennessee. I ran with it.
TN, because it's the abbreviation. Maybe it's they say. Share and give when you can. God bless. Thank you so much, Craig. Appreciate it so much.
And you gave us a riddle on top of it. We're gonna have to solve it. Thank you. Much appreciated. And still, send us your shirt size so I can give it to Nick so we can get you a t-shirt in Australia, Mike. Come on.
Yes. Oh, you've been checking the email, right? Because I haven't checked that.
I have not seen a Craig email, so I do look at the emails.
Okay, good. At least someone's looking at them. Thank you so much. Dur says, do you have any high-grade blue bolts and be willing to sell for the right price, of course? Also, how much work would creating an orange-eye blue bolt entail?
All right, so yes, we have some nice blue bolts that will be available on the website. They're pretty much going to be from my high-grade tank, but they flip-flop, and the blues are, when I say flip-flop, they're moody. One day they'll be deepest, darkest blue, perfect coloration, head to toe, and then the next day they'll be half white, half blue. And then during shipping, they pretty much bleach out and lose a good amount of their color. So it takes them, a good week before they color up and people are even happy with them. So I don't like to sell them as extremes. We sell them as S+ grade. And basically, a majority of the time, they're going to be extreme. But like I said, they're moody. There's very, very few lines of blue bolts out there that, don't change color at all. And I think they're all like crossbred and not pure blue bolts, because the blue steels are pretty much the only ones that don't really change or flip flop color. We've had these blue bolts now for like 8 or 9 years, working on the line, calling out the whites, and they've never, not been moody. So the other thing is your orange eye blue bolt. It would be a hybrid, and that would be an orange eye blue steel, and those are already a thing. They're out there on the market already. We have some of those. Do you have a next one, or you want to give me back my notes?
No.
No.
Johnny says, I want your pinto shrimp. I have plenty of them, and they are on the website.
They are on the website?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
They should be.
I don't think they are, but they will be.
Because we did. Okay, we
They-
do.
They will
that
be on the
thing
website.
is like chock full. It's a lower grade though, and then some medium grades. Of course, I'm still working on a lot of the patterns, so the high grades are definitely having to stay. So we can,
I won't be selling
fix
the
those.
mediums. I'm just going to be selling some low grades, and you'll get a couple mediums in with the low grades.
Yeah.
And I
But
want
they're
to build up
still
those tanks a
beautiful.
little bit
It's just
more.
like, I mean, I like the deeper red looking. They kind of look like roses to me, without all the spots on them. I know it's weird, and most people want to achieve that, but like to me, I kind of want to do a tank where they're all just deep dark red. I think that would just be so beautiful, and like, it's gonna be like near impossible because you can't really get rid of the fishbone, unfortunately. But like, I know everyone likes their spots, but I think the solid deep red is pretty too. Just little, just get someone a dozen of them and just say, "Here's my roses for you," and they'll grow. Take care of them, right?
All right.
Sorry.
So back to me.
I mean, there's more.
Go
Sibley
for it.
says, are there a lot of things we want to create already exist overseas, but no one here really has them or are good ones? So this is why we should cross orange eyes with what we want, ? Sky's the limit.
There are definitely things out there that are kept secret. A lot of breeders won't even share one of a kind things because they don't want somebody else to go, oh, this is a possibility, and run down this line and beat them to the punch to mass produce it and make all the money. It's one of those things where there's also people that are really into the hobby but not into social media, and they don't share things around too much. But then another thing that happened with Facebook is when they made that rule change and no longer live sales, one of the biggest things that kind of died off was the relationship with the United States and overseas breeders and sellers. There's a couple of us who talk with the overseas breeders. I'm not really one of those people. I've got way too much going on here. And there's also a part of me, like, I don't want to know what they're doing. I don't want to, like, try and be catered in that direction to breed something that somebody's also doing. I want to do something that nobody else is doing. And in order to do that, I got to do my own thing. So I'm kind of like just out there. And if somebody sends me a picture of a cool shrimp, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see how they're achieving that. I also know, like, a lot of the pictures that are out there, I know shrimp look a little color as juveniles, and then they mature and they change into a whole different coloration. So a lot of like the red and blue and black shrimp that are out there, there's a lot of juveniles that'll look that coloration. But getting the adults and getting a breeding colony, I always see like shots of like 2 or 3 shrimp. I want to see like big breeding colonies with all the like little babies, or else I'm not really that impressed.
Yeah.
So there's definitely stuff out there, but there's a lot more stuff that hasn't been made that, you know what I mean, we could just put on pen and paper and come up with probably twice as many varieties of shrimp than we even have.
Yeah.
So,
You got to think about how many varieties there are, and if you learn in genetics class and numbers, obviously, how many crosses you can do and how many outcomes come with that. So it's really cool. Like, there's always days where we're just kind of like looking at each other and we're like, oh, we should try this. And we're like, that does sound good, but like, do we do it? No. Like, there's some things that we haven't even been able to attempt yet. And like, as we're talking on the live stream, I came up with a new idea for one of my coal tanks to create a new shrimp so that I'm not wasting my coal tank. And I'm excited for that one. So
Secrets aren't fun.
secrets aren't fun.
What are you doing?
I want to do orange eyes on my pintos, but I'm trying to figure out which orange eyes to go with my coal tank pintos. But I think that I could create some cool looking different pintos, but to choose the right one where it's not gonna make the shrimp look more like tang ties or anything like that. You know, it's still a question, so that's why I didn't want to share it yet.
Okay. So,
What would a pure white wine red make crossed with a galaxy?
a pure white wine red make crossed with a galaxy, tie bees. You're pretty much going backwards because you're crossing a Taiwan bee with a galaxy pinto. So you're going to lose all the striping and all the hard work that you put into the galaxies. So not really something I would recommend. That red wine, that pure red wine, will be worth more than the galaxy pintos in the future.
Big Steve, yes, that was the Machiobranchium. There's different species, but like, yeah, in general, any of the bigger shrimp, like with the claws or Machiobranchium, Jeff said shrimp ship them direct to him.
Which
And
ones?
The shrimp, if you get them from Peru,
Oh.
And then Big Steve says, have you guys ever tried the big freshwater prawns? You
That's the
apparently
Machiobranchium.
haven't seen the several times we've talked about I accidentally killed all his prawns. So yes, we have tried them, and Shelby successfully
We also have
accidentally.
some
Yeah, we have one,
there's-
and I've been taking care of it.
There's a colony, or that's not the way. They have established in South Florida. So we go down to the Miami area and we're able to catch them in a couple canals.
What's the best way to cross a zebra-eyed neon Godzilla with an Oreo Aurora Davy eye?
One of the TGOE breeder boxes. That's the best one.
That was good. That was good. I really thought that was a serious question for a minute, and I had to read it like 4 times. Okay, Tube Dog said, I'm starting to cycle my Caridina tanks, and I've added at least 15 pumps of the GH Plus to the RODI water, and I can't seem to get the TDS up to 150-ish. What gives? What are you using for pumps? Are you using pre-mixed minerals? Is what I'm assuming you're using the Brightwell minerals. So we'll come back to that.
Hold on.
That's got to be it.
All right. So the Brightwell minerals is definitely watered down. We need to do a whole new remake video on doing the Caridina the way that we do it. The reason why we don't sell Brightwell minerals on our website and we sell the salty shrimp GH only is because consistency. There is bottles of the Brightwell GH that is super concentrated, and then there's bottles where you're having to pump a lot of water into it. So the good thing is Brightwell or the seller should be able to reimburse you and send you another bottle. And then, lesson learned, get some salty shrimp after that. The only downside to salty shrimp is you should mix it the night before so that way it's thoroughly mixed up. Where the Brightwell is already mixed up, it's ready to go. It's just sad that it's inconsistent. I've talked about them just making a salt version of it so we could sell that. But I'm not interested in selling down the watered version because of the bad reviews on other people's website. And because we made that video, I've gotten so many people saying I'm not getting that same GH mix that you're getting, and they get a new bottle and that'll work out for them. Sometimes it doesn't and they quit and they just go with the salty shrimp. So hopefully that helps.
Sibley says, does that work for any level of membership with a 10% discount? Yes,
Yeah.
it does. Mimic said, that's definitely a good idea if you know the lineage. I'm mostly wondering which established orange eye lines have the weakest genes outside of orange eye so that the other parents' traits can manifest easily.
I don't understand the question that you're trying to ask.
You know how orange-eyed yellow King Kongs and orange-eyed tangerine tigers are very strong genes and they tend to be the dominant trait.
Yeah.
Is there an orange-eyed shrimp that isn't as dominant that you can mix is what they're asking.
The white gene would be it. Like the pintos, the Taiwan bee, the double pigmentation. That's the weakest one that you should try and manifest.
Oh no, so sorry, Nathan. Missed so much of this one because they were watching the other one that replayed. I tried ending it so much faster, but I'm so sorry. This was terrible. My fault.
There's some great information in that other one, though. I was on a roll for a second.
Yeah, QJF said, so is there orange eye crystal black and crystal reds?
No, there is nothing even close because you would make orange-eyed tibies, and then to try and refine those to go back, you don't even have the white to do it. So there's nothing close. The other thing is on my list to talk about is I kind of briefly did this, I think in the last live stream, where there are other orange-eyed shrimp like the Sulawesi. It is a mutation lottery basically on whether or not this can happen and affect that type of shrimp. So that's why you don't call the orange-eyed shadow pandas orange-eyed shadow pandas. You call them orange-eyed lapis because they're not exactly a shadow panda. Or you don't call the orange-eyed red King Kongs that, you call them orange-eyed red devils because they don't have this exact genes as a red King Kong. The phenotype is an orange-eyed red King Kong, but the genetics, the name, the proper terminology is orange-eyed red devil because you use the cross to achieve that phenotype. It wasn't the mutation. So as far as I know, there are no other mutations that have happened on the Caradinas except for the orange-eyed blue tigers and the Sulawesi. So because of that, everything else would have a slightly different name to achieve that phenotype look. So it's like the same if I wanted to try and create an orange-eyed tangerine tiger. You wouldn't really be able to do that without crossing with the orange-eyed blue tigers and then selective breeding that orange coloration to stick out and then get the dots and the patterning like a tangerine tiger to call it that. But it's still got Caradina Maria. So the only way to get a true tangerine tiger orange eye would be to breed a massive amount of tangerine tigers and hope the mutation pops up on its own. But it's like winning the lottery. It really is.
Welcome to the team, Sibley. Thank you so much for joining. Of course, you heard our spiel before. Just make sure you email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com, and you can leave us your address, and we'll send you that 10% off code and your sticker. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And then the other shrimp that is kind of making a wave, but I gotta err this on the side of caution because this guy comes and goes, and every time he's got a different name, very similar pictures, but he's trying to claim that they have orange-eyed Neocaridina. Now, I have seen myself in some of our cull tanks where the I'm not a doctor. Is it the retina, the white part of your eye?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Where that will be white on the Neocaridina.
The white part of the eye?
Yeah, I don't know what the white part of the eye is, all right? But that would be, common in a lot of cull Neocaridina where you'll have this dull coloration where it kind of looks like an orange eye.
Sclera.
All right. But the pupil is actually black. So because of that, it's not a true orange eye. It's nothing special. It's very similar to what happens in the Babaltis, and a lot of other, Taiwan bees and other shrimp will do this too. However, with a little bit of Photoshop, you can erase that pupil really easily, and it looks like an orange-eyed blue tiger. The dude, or orange-eyed neocaridina, the dude's charging like $200 per shrimp. So I'm almost positive it's a scam. I've seen the guy come up 3 or 4 times trying to make sales. He's even popped up on Band app, and to my knowledge, nobody has been dumb enough to buy them and bring them over to the United States, or somebody has and just hasn't admitted to it because they don't have any proof. So I don't believe that it's really a thing. Not yet. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened in the future. But because of all the sketchy photos and because of the way the guy comes and goes and no real credibility, like I expect somebody like Skyfish to like just offer that person a ridiculous amount of money to buy the stock, and then they mass produce it and they charge the premium, and then from there everybody gets their orange-eyed neocaridina. Not saying that it has to come from Skyfish or whatever, but like you'd imagine one of those bigger farms, those bigger names, would definitely be behind a project like that, or be first people to buy it and then able to mass produce it, surely. Like for us, the green Ridleys, that was the last big thing, I think, in the neocaridina side to hit the United States. That's the last shrimp that we bought. I do know there are some blue neocaridinas with the backlines coming out. That would be really cool to carry and keep some of those. But orange eyes are just not a thing as far as I'm concerned, not yet, for the neocaridina.
Did you answer
So
that? Have you ever seen orange-eyed wilds?
In the culls, they look like they're orange eye, but if you take a good photo, you'll see that there's still black in the pupae. Pupae is a larvae.
But I mean, we have several wild type caridina too, and I have never seen any orange eyes come from them. Have you?
No, I mean,
yeah. So I don't. We don't.
I
mean, it's still up to speculation where they
across
come
the
from.
house. I would have made a big deal about it, but I didn't do that with the blue eye. Did I?
Sort of.
I don't know.
You were excited about it. You didn't scream across the house though. Ain't that excited?
But
yeah, it's definitely got to be a mutation. Just like we've had mutations in some of our tanks that just didn't hold on. So I don't know. I really don't know. It's still speculation where they really come from. Oh, and that's it.
Back to me.
Yeah.
All right. So I got my list here. First one on the list is the orange-eyed red devils. If I were to try and make these, I would start off with the orange-eyed yellow King Kongs. I know that when the orange-eyed red devils were first hitting the market, they were throwing orange-eyed yellow King Kongs as culls quite regularly, or coming in the same batches as with the imports. So I do feel like the orange-eyed yellow King Kong was the quickest route to the red devils. They were one of the newer varieties of orange-eyes on the market in the United States. Not the first, though. Orange-eyed yellow King Kongs were here quite a while before they were. So definitely would use orange-eyed yellow King Kongs crossed with, obviously, a red Taiwan bee. But I'm going to come back to that because I don't know if that's true anymore. I honestly don't know if that's possible. Or I'm going to talk about other mutations other than orange eye, and I'm going to lose half of the audience.
Johnny said, can a red pinto breed with orange tiger?
Yes, they can. Yeah, that's, an easy way to make some lower grade pintos.
Mm-hmm. That's what.
But
bees, to me, pinto. You could even breed them out and then create higher grade of the orange eyes, but it's gonna take so much work, and that's why as Mimic Nature is trying not to do, is create. You want to create less work when you're mixing them with the orange eyes. And I know if I put the Tangerine Tiger orange eyes, it would kind of make everything I've worked for kind of like go backwards. It wouldn't like help it. Yeah. So like I understand where he's coming from.
That's why you need 2 tanks. You go 2 different directions.
Aquatic Moose said, Shelby, are you still playing with fish? Yes, we're playing musical chairs with some of them. I do have quite a bit breeding around the house. I did get some guppies. Those are pretty cool. Albino cobras and albino mosaics.
Oh,
so those are pretty exciting. And then a bunch of mutt guppies. So those are going to be awesome for the turtles and their livelihood.
How are you going to say? So those are going to be Mata food? And I was like, oh, savage to the point. All right.
Good for the turtles. Being nice about it. But like they're really ugly guppies. They're not even like cool looking.
So the orange-eyed lapis would be next on the list. Instead of using orange-eyed yellow King Kongs, I would use the orange-eyed blue or black devils or orange-eyed black tigers if you had those instead. And of course, some shadow pandas. It would, again, the red devils and this, you would need at least 1 generation cross with one another to get F1s. And then those F1s cross back with one another to get F2s. And hopefully the F2s have the orange eyes with the right pattern. And from there, you would, take at least 3 or 4 generations of selective breeding before you ended up with a end product that you were happy with.
Matt said, if I showed up to your house right now and asked you to show me your favorite tank, what would you be showing me?
My favorite tank? It's Shelby's tank on the counter with the trees and the Cryptocorn Parva.
Really? That's your favorite tank in the house?
Yeah, would name a better tank.
And wild shrimp with it?
Yeah, I mean, he said tank, not favorite shrimp.
Yeah, but like I enjoy the Stardust tank a lot.
That thing looks like milk.
Yeah, it does.
It's not bad. It's dirty because we put so much food into it. It's that tank.
The milky looking thing.
That one right there. So yeah,
You did not.
Whoa. All right. I thought I clicked out of the live stream and ended it. That would have been hilarious.
In night. That's done. It's a wrap. That would have been done.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Where were we? But favorite like shrimp tank only and not consider the aquascapes, then yeah,
Tangerine Tiger.
I'm gonna go to the green kiwis.
Oh. It's not that interesting.
Well, I mean it's better than it's
There's
better than anything else in the house.
I'm just kidding. There's a ton of shrimp in the Tangerine Tigers, so it's kind of interesting to see.
We're gonna go buy shrimp. Just Opaula.
Oh, that one's cool too.
The Suluwasa, the Red Galaxy.
This is not easy. Stop asking us to pick one out of 400.
I gave one. It was the right answer.
It's not. It's not the right answer.
It's the best tank in the house.
Oh, thank you so much, Rhett Feltman, for becoming a new member. If you didn't hear it before, we have a 10% discount to our website, and you get your member-only sticker. Just make sure you email us at thegardenofeater@gmail.com for that, and we'll ship that out. Just give us your name and your address, and we'll get that out to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rhett. Appreciate it. Welcome to the team.
Matt, I didn't skip your question. I just didn't read it. Okay? Gotta read faster.
Back to me?
Yes.
All right. Then we have some orange-eyed blue steels. I think this is the one where I'm kind of split. I don't really think it matters if you use orange-eyed yellow King Kongs or orange-eyed blue devils, but you're obviously going to want to use blue bolts or blue steels, one of the two. I would probably use some crazy blues just because of the coloration and pigments that come out of those compared to just normal blue bolts. I'd like to see that transfer into the orange eyes. But again, 4 or 5 generations of hard work before you see anything that you're going to be happy with. And these are going to throw red steels like no other, and not a lot of white to them. So the white coloration, to get that, you might have to cross back with the blue bolts, or just get really lucky and have an orange eye with a little bit of white, and just keep that as your main focus until you have a nice blue head body with a big old white, nice blue head with a big old white body. I almost bumped you on purpose afterwards. The first one was on second. The second one, I was like, oh,
I think both
almost
of them
got
are
you
on
there.
purpose.
First one mainly.
Cora said, "What's your favorite plant for Caridina tank parameters?"
Moss, for sure. I love me some moss in our shrimp tanks. Second would be Boos, and then third Anubis. Fourth would be Java ferns. And all of these plants are great because they don't send runner roots into the substrate. So they're easy, something you can pull out. If they have an algae issue or something like that, you can take them out. You can treat them out of the tank to put it back in. And yeah, any aeroid really.
Moss seems to be my favorite. It's just the one that grows the best in lower pH to me compared to every other aquatic plant. I think it grows the fastest. So you got a lot of options to choose from on moss. It seems like every single one of them tend to do better in lower pH that you would need for a Caridina. So back to you.
And now I have orange-eyed yellow King Kong on the list. Again, it's already a stable. It's just if you want to make this from scratch, I would use an orange-eyed black tiger. It's solid, doesn't have a lot of striping to it. Of course, yellow King Kong would be the other one. I think this would be achievable in like 3 or 4 generations. Rather, the other ones would need a little bit more work because of the double pigment and the pattern and everything like that. And because of how little generations it really took for this, that's why I think it was a stable and took off, was easy to mass produce, and really just is one of the most well-known orange-eyed shrimp on the market today.
Tube Dog said, "What's your mixture rate for the salty shrimp gallon?"
I think it's 1 scoop for 5 gallons, but I'm not sure because I mixed a giant container up. So I don't remember what the actual ratio is. I know to go very small and then add small, or medium and then add small amounts to reach our TDS goal.
Passing Wind said, "Have you ever thought about writing Kool-Aid and come up with some official Kool-Aid colored shrimp?" That's so cool. That'd be cool.
More than writing Kool-Aid, I thought about writing Ben and Jerry's and using their ice cream names.
I think that would be one. We'd have to find out who'd give us the best deal because obviously we'd have to give them some sort of payout for the shrimp for using their names.
We just give them some shrimp to put in an ice cream tub.
I literally, you're making me so sick. I'm gonna have to go.
There's something called mukbang, and it might not be that. It might be something.
Are you talking about eating?
I know. I thought of that too, but no, it's not. But it's in Korea or Vietnamese, and they eat blood jellyfish, and they dip it in this mukbang or whatever it is. All right,
Mukbangs.
And no, it's not that, but it's fermented shrimp. So it's literally just shrimp and salt in a barrel, and it ferments, and then they dip the jellyfish into it.
Gross.
Yeah, it's definitely gross.
I'd probably try it still.
They say the foreigners don't really like it too much.
No, then you can't eat it. Have you seen what they can eat? I watch those all the time.
No. Foreigners to them, not locals. It would be local to them. Foreigners, we would be the foreigners.
Yes. That makes sense. I mean, realistically, we eat chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. So Americans in a whole. I think you could just put us in a box. Zach said, "I know this may have been asked in another stream, but will a Bloody Mary occasionally have a backline? I have one with it and cannot tell if it is truly a bloody at this point. She's pretty though."
So the thing is it's 100% possible for Bloody Marys to have a backline. It's just not that common. But like Bloody Mary is technically just a dirty red cherry shrimp. So if the red cherry side had a backline and then it went chocolate and the backline continued, then yeah, it's possible. But like, there's also the other possibility that there was somebody that just took some really nice red cherries and renamed them as Bloody Marys to get a sale, and they sell for more money. So it's a possibility, but they shouldn't. It's one of those things where most of your shrimp don't have it. It's probably a good thing.
Steve said, not orange-eyed related, but what is the substrate do you guys use for the opaulas?
Crushed coral and our aragonite mix.
Argonite.
Aragonite, whatever. One might be explosive, I think. I don't know. But basically, yeah, you don't have to mix it. We mixed it for our Sulawesi tanks and just carried it over for one of our Opaula tanks. The Argonite is all by itself in the Opaula tank because it's the black Opa, not black.
You're struggling.
It's the black Hawaiian sand or whatever it is, and because of the look, we just wanted that.
It is so nice looking. Caribsea makes it so, like, usually when you get crushed coral and Argonite, it's white. You get it from the store by Caribsea still, but they also make the black Hawaiian sand that is also pretty cool. Matt said, true, I did say tank, but yeah, I did mean your favorite project, which is a whole different topic. So which is your favorite project?
The green kiwis.
Yours was pretty much the same answer. So my pure white lines are the only thing I'm working on, but that
isn't even a project, Mike. That breeding true is possible coming right out the bat.
I know that I just looked out. Okay, it could have been a project. We didn't.
Her favorite project is me, Matt. All right.
Almost 14 years and working. Still haven't fixed all the quirks.
You never will. You just gotta get used to them.
When you breed, talking genetics, when you breed with them, it's half and half. I thought it would be good half and half. No, they just got 75% of him.
It's not half and half with humans. That's the problem. Dominant genes take over.
Oh, it's too good. Grant takes every question very literal.
It's the internet. You have to.
Boots and Cat said, how many bathroom tanks do you have? Just one.
One.
Just one.
And it's only for number one. Do not use it for number two.
Stop. Nano guy says, Java ferns do well on Caridina parameters? Question mark. Do you fertilize them?
So they do great. We do not fertilize them, but it's not like they do fantastic growth. They just survive without having holes and brown growth, but they don't really blow up in the Caridina tanks. I will say all of the Java fern we've ever sold on the website has come out of our Red King Kong Caridina tank. So all the narrow leaf came out of other Caridina tanks, and we sold that at shows so fast that it hasn't regrown for us. That we didn't sell any narrow leaf, I don't think, last year. Like, we sold all of it in 2022, and then it grows. It's just not enough for us to really sell. It's a very slow one. That's why the nurseries, they grow them all immersed.
Mm-hmm. They do like harder water though. I don't know if you said that. They tend to like them, not very hard, but like a 7.5 pH. I
just think they like cool water. They don't do too well out in the garage where it's warm, but
yeah, I don't know. Sterling said, if crossing Shadow Missouri and Tangerine Tigers, can some babies still look like Taiwan beasts?
No, the first F1, all of your babies are going to look like Tangerine Tigers almost. F2 though, you will definitely get some shrimp with the possibility to look like Taiwan bees, to look like blue steels, and most certainly you'll get a lot of red steels at F2.
This is an amazing comment. I'm glad to know you're alive. Zach Gerke said, I love you guys. Hope you are doing well, and it looks like you are. Thank you so much, stranger.
I'm glad the mask is holding up.
The it's nice to hear from you.
Yeah, of course. Just wish you didn't move to the other side of the country to get away from me.
He misses you so much. He really does. Welcome in, Garcia. But
Back to me?
Yes.
All right. So, I already talked about the orange-eyed black and blue devils. They're really just a hybridized orange-eyed royal blue tiger or orange-eyed black tiger. They are, pretty prominent on our cross with the orange eyes to try and make the green tigers, where they're still popping out. So I don't know if it's like a dominant or a recessive gene exactly. That's where my scientific knowledge really just goes down the drain. Unless somebody told me about it, I don't know how to figure out that exactly. But I do know that they pop up and they continue to be inside of our orange-eyed crossbreeding tanks that we use them from the get-go. Even with the hollow eyes, which I'm getting to in a little bit, which totally threw me for a trip when I started crossbreeding those. And basically, because they look so close to the real deal, as long as you know they came out of a crossbreeding project, you slap a different name on them so you don't put them back with your original tiger shrimp and ruin the Caridina Maria lineage.
I'm sorry. You pause at the weirdest times.
I paused. It's on you now.
Johnny said, have you ever heard of orange bee neo shrimp?
Yeah. They come around as the orange sakuras. There's like an argument where they're neocaridina or they're a different kind of caridina. But almost always, if you get the one that's not a neocaridina, it won't breed. So if you have the one that does breed, chances are you probably have the neocaridina that was just renamed. There is one that has like a slightly different pigment coloration, and it just never breeds for anybody here in the United States. So that's why orange bees colonies don't exist here in the States.
Sholim. How does the purple neo come about?
Pretty much by throwing a bunch of random shrimp together, you can get some purples pop out of them. The best way, if I wanted to make them, again, I would use Bloody Marys crossed with Blue Dreams. Problem is like 9 out of 10 times you can get wilds. And then the other problem was when I tried to breed for the purple, I just got nicer blues and nicer reds. I didn't get purples. So kind of lost the purple neos, but entered them in a contest. They did exist. There's proof. So
yeah,
it's just getting them to breed. There's a reason why they haven't been done overseas. So yeah, pretty much go to a Bloody Mary tank at 4 o'clock in the morning and flip on the lights and stress them out, and you'll see purples. But that's not a purple colony of neocaridina shrimp. So that is yet to be answered yet.
I have a grayish looking shrimp from my Bloody Marys, and they're I'm pretty sure it's caused by stress, honestly. Like
Yeah.
I've had that shrimp and then it just like seems to change its color, but it's still gray like every day. I just think that its parameters are just not happy in the water. Abstract says, have you ever seen a shrimp that is split in color down the middle like those rare lobsters that were blue and red?
I actually have 2 of these shrimp right now in the same tank of the same colony, and I was going to split those up last night, and then I realized that I have 2 half-siders, Chimera is the other name for them. Maybe that's not right, but they sadly are not 2 different colors, but it is 2 different patterns, and it is split straight down the middle of the back of the shrimp. We've had other ones before in the past. It is very, very rare. It could be male, female on opposite halves of the shrimp. So it's not common that the two organs kind of like match up with other shrimp for them to be able to breed and pass down the genetics. It might also be a mutation that's not passed down genetically. So it's a rare thing to occur for sure.
Zach says, have you ever noticed the opaulas having a longer lifespan than any other shrimp? I hear they can live for over 10 years. That could just be the internet talking, though.
If you have an opaula that you've named and you've kept an eye on for longer than a year, congratulations.
I would be impressed.
But I have a racing circuit of opaula behind me, and I couldn't tell you the difference between car number 1 and car number 3000. They just go around the track and zoom. There's like 8 to 10 yellows in there. And even those, I couldn't tell you if those are the original yellows from when we moved them from the tiny cube of negligence to what they are in now, or if they bred others, if some died off. I have no idea. I just know that we were sold out of those a couple months ago, and now I have more than I ever had. So
I just know that you can't kill these things. These can live in like the worst conditions. So like, it's insane that there were shrimp that were little tiny babies, and we thought there was no more shrimp in that tank. And I mean, it sat with like an inch of water for a very long time because we thought it was empty of shrimp, and there was still shrimp in it.
It's still sitting with an inch of water.
And probably still has shrimp in it.
Yeah. It's waiting for the rack to have the boards painted so I can set it up.
Those things are just ridiculous. They're really
we caught
cool
as many shrimp as we could and moved them into the new pond, and they've just colonized from the inch of water that's been
There's certain shrimps that are just like almost like pests. You just can't get rid of them in a tank. Like I would say Stardust is one of those too. Like you could literally leave a tank sitting on the ground for like a month and not running or anything, and those Stardust will still survive and breed. Thank you so much, DJ Owen, for the $5 super chat. Said, what country is the leader in breeding freshwater shrimp?
Taiwan, I think, would be for sure the front runner. Germany gets a lot of credit. There's a lot of lines that are German. There's a lot of Taiwan lines. But like, there's probably more hardcore breeders in like Vietnam and Korea and Japan nowadays than I think there is in Germany. I could be wrong though. But I do think a lot of the hardcore German breeders have kind of scaled back. It's not easy to compete with the Asian breeders. I know a handful of them that all have more aquariums than we do, by like 2 or 3 times the amount. So it's hard.
Thank you so much.
What are you laughing about?
I'm laughing at Zen's comment. Said cube of negligence. That's my favorite term today.
It was this tiny little. It was meant for salt water.
You didn't take care of the
JBJ nano cube, and when we plugged it in, it was for salt water. So it just made all of the little tiny free floating larvae of the shrimp, because the opaula are 2-stage. It just blew them into oblivion, and no breeding was going on. So I killed it, and then the light. I needed plugs for other lights, so the light got turned off. And then it just doesn't need water changes, and it just had a lid on it, and we just kept it there. And it was like one of those tanks where you almost forget to count when you're counting how many tanks are in the house. But I would feed it every time I walked by it. And then when we had to tear down that metal rack, I was like, what are we going to do with this tank? And I realized there were some yellow opaulas, and I was like, ooh, this tank is way cooler than I thought it was. And
that's what we did. We stressed them out so much, we created a new shrimp.
They're like, "Yellow, we're in here."
Or I wonder if, like, the darkness, they adapted to the darkness, and they were like, "Please, just see us." Sorry, Stephen P says I have entire rooms of negligence, but no tanks in those rooms.
Are those the kids' rooms?
Oh, Lady Diane said, "Watch the mail. Gotta go. You have a good night. Thank you." Wonder what she's sending. I'm curious now. Big Steve said, "I'm pretty sure those half and half lobsters are also half male, half female, so they probably can't reproduce." So there's a lot of people actually. There's one person in particular that's breeding them, and got them to breed.
Yeah, but they're not. They're
It's
not
like
legit.
self-cloning.
Wait. I don't know what you're talking about, but the only person that I've seen with the half-siders that were able to get them to breed, they weren't like true half-siders.
We're talking about the lobsters.
Oh, the lobsters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't got the half-siders to actually breed in shrimp, but I think the lobsters have bred. I
was
think
lost
it was
because I was still back on Lady.
Self-producing itself. Yeah.
I was still back on Lady Diane's. I thought she left us to go watch the mail, not that she sent us something in the mail. So when you said that, I was like, oh, makes sense.
Yeah, but I don't remember who's doing the video on it, but it's like someone who does like shrimping and like offshore stuff like that, and they caught it, and then that was one of their experiments, is to see if they could get it to breed, and I think they did. I don't know if it was successful though. Like, I don't know.
I know I saw a video of them putting it in a tank. I didn't see any breeding efforts though.
Passing Wind said, "My wife is Chinese and Puerto Rican. Does that make me an Asian breeder because I have kids?"
I mean, if your kids bred them.
No, your kids would have to.
Oh, I get it.
Oh. that went right over my head. I dyed my hair blonde, and I
Lost
really
10
don't
IQ.
get it. Yeah.
Went
More
right
than
into
that,
the
probably.
roots, right into the brain, fried.
Stephen P. They didn't just adapt to the darkness; they were born in it. Okay, back to you.
All right, so the orange-eyed metallics. This is the orange-eyed purples. They just shine. I don't know if these were selective bred black and blue devils that were just gone for the shine, and they were just going for the shine and selective bred that over years. I'll be honest, I don't know too much. If they took purple shrimp and then crossed them back with the orange eyes, I would try both. If that was your goal, I would be working with two different tanks. One where I'd be selective breeding the orange-eyed black devils, and the other one where I'd probably cross the orange-eyed black devils with some of the purple metallics that are already out on the market. So it'd be a project. Like everything else would be 3 to 5 to 6 generations. The orange-eyed purple metallic, that's going to be like probably an 8-generation project, if not more.
Sibley said, "I'm on a tiger kick. I own your Stardust and raccoons, added yellow King Kongs and real tangerine tigers, unlike dirty ones, before shipping increased. I want to add auroras for sure, possibly cheetahs as well. Orange-eyed blue tigers are a must. All good options."
Well, if we have to move, I can definitely let go of some orange-eyed blue tigers and some aurora blue tigers before we leave.
DJ Owen, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, "Have you guys purchased any shrimp from overseas
It's just the pen.
breeders?
It was very bendable. I don't know why it
Like
decided
Taiwan.
to break.
Taiwan or other countries? And if so, do you recommend doing so?"
We have a lot of the times when they come over for the shows, we'll get our shrimp through them that way. The shipping and the time that they spend in the bags and the difference in water parameters and stuff like that, I've always found that it's a lot more worth it to be a little bit patient and wait for somebody else to spend the money and buy the shrimp and then them breed it, and then you just buy their F1s, so that way you can get your hands on those genetics. But it has not been worth it for us in the past to try and buy from other countries. So it's why we do the homebred and not import shrimp.
Thank you so much, DJ.
Appreciate it.
Zachary said, "How many tanks are you guys at now? Do you still do reptiles and amphibians as well, or is it just shrimp nowadays?"
So we're up to 420 tanks in the house that have aquatics in it, and then we have 2 tanks for Shelby's leopard geckos. We've got 13 turtles to our name right now. No.
I feel like it's more than that.
All right, so
We
let's
got
do a
another one
rundown. We've got 7 diamondback terrapins. We've got 1 yellow belly, 1 mata mata, 2 musk turtles, regular commons, 2 razorback musk turtles, and then we have 3 loggerhead musk turtles. So that's 16.
So 16 turtles.
I feel like I'm forgetting a turtle. No, that's got to be
That's it.
All right. And then we have newts. We got like 8 Eastern newts and 6 rib newts. And we got a bunch of sirens. And that's it for now. But like,
We do have crayfish. 1.
that's not an amphibian or a reptile. Do we have a crawfish? Where's the
I have
crawfish?
my crawfish.
Where?
In the
garage. Yeah.
That thing is super sick looking. I just wish I could get another one so they could breed. But now it's just a pet.
And then
Welcome in, Sam.
We've got a bunch of fish and other stuff. As long as we can keep the house at an affordable insurance rate, we'll hit the goal of 500 tanks in the house, with Shelby's room just being finished for all of her fish. And then the goal was to get Layla her chameleons, get Jaden his
cages.
We're probably gonna do bearded dragon for him, but I'll get him like a platinum
snake.
white one.
We're not even doing a bearded dragon. We're going straight for the snake. I don't know what he's talking about. That boa. I'm buying him a banana.
Well, then
a
you
banana
do rats.
pythons.
You need to breed some rats first. And then we'll get them.
I'm getting them frozen. It's grossing me out live. I can't with it. Nope, thanks. But we do fish as well, so just not just shrimp. I do fish. So it's a little bit more interesting. So hopefully you can make a trip down here one day.
I did try
hopefully
to buy.
We still have the house.
I did try to buy a crocodile 3 months ago. Found out I need a class 3 permit, so that might be something we're gonna get here in the future. And then we also want like an ocelot cat and I don't know, a toucan to start off the zoo.
A toucan.
Toucan.
That's a big purchase.
And we're not going to name him Toucan Sam. I'm sorry, Sam. Scales.
Which
Can't
is
name it
in
after
here,
you.
came in and let us know that more prints are on the way. Thank you so much, Sam. We did just bring that up not too long ago.
Then nice.
And so Zach said, if you've looked into prawn grout, these use layers of screen material to allow for more surface area for them to crawl on in smaller container. Do you think this could work for Neos?
Yeah, it could. I just don't.
Anyways.
I don't like adding plastic to the systems, especially like
or stainless
ones you're gonna eat out of. So like, I don't know why the prawn farms do it. But we use a lot of plants. So there's a lot of moss. There's a lot of Laguidia repens, Bobitis, and probably going to go ham on the Anubis next year in the Neocaridina tubs.
So we're still going to have to talk about the toucan being the first animal there.
Layla wants a bird. An albino peacock would be cool
before we get
too.
that, right, Richard?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Cora,
But that's not a zoo animal.
so
that's just like that's a pocket in a pet store.
Nice
animal.
little entrance. We can make like a cool habitat for them. Oh, that'd be such a cool
Only thing cool about
window
those
in the
is if
front.
you owned a pet store and you had a little pocket and the finch just like flew onto your
That'd be
pocket
too cute.
every time you got a sale. It's the only thing those things are good for.
It just comes out, grabs your money, and comes back into the pocket.
No, it just gives
so
them back
cute.
their change.
Oh.
It's not in charge of taking money.
Coro said, do you all have Malala shrimp or any plans to have anytime soon?
We do, but for whatever reason, their breeding completely like halted after last year's winter. We did get some breeding back in the tank this year, but not enough to sell any of them. We did crank the heater back on. I think I took the heater off because we had bred them without a heater in the past, and they just didn't like it. So we put the heater back on, got some babies, but they do need some time before we offer them. Also, this time of the year, we're not able to sell them when it's this cold anyways.
Sibley said, when you say move, just a different spot in Florida or entirely different state?
Just a different spot in Florida. So pretty much move would only be if our insurance goes up over like say $700, and then we could find a place to rent for like $600 to $500. Then we'd move all of our aquariums out, get new insurance, save that $700 in the insurance, and then spend that on the warehouse storefront. We've thought about this quite a bit. We've always tried to make a bad situation turn out into a good one, or if we've ever had to redo something, always try to make it back better. So we've thought about it. Maybe we find a storefront, maybe we find a warehouse or something like that that we could maybe open up to the public, like on Mondays and Saturdays when we're shipping out. That way, we're already there. We don't have to hire employees to run it, and we do have like a person every week who wants to try and buy shrimp in person, and we're not set up for that right now. So it'd make it easier for that. And maybe we don't do like a pet store. We just do like an aquatic plant store. And if they just happen to want shrimp too, we have shrimp there.
Scale says you have the Saluda River crayfish. Yeah, it's incredible. I took a video of it the other day. Have no idea where that video went now. I probably deleted it, but it's super cool. And you guys want a green anaconda? I mean, it would be.
Are we allowed to have those
but...
in Florida though?
What, anacondas?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. So we'd have to look into that. But it would be kind of cool. But also, we are not in a position to take any animals right now. Only just taking fish or something that can fill the tanks we already have pre-cycled and ready to go. But really don't want to disturb anything if we do have to move.
Yeah.
Oh, banana python. Jenna would love that. They're really cool. They're like one of the coolest pythons. I don't know, maybe? I don't know. Don't ask me. And
Sam told me no crocodile. Do you know how much that makes me want to go and get a crocodile, Sam? Sam's just like I'll never feel comfortable sleeping on the couch if he gets a crocodile. He knows he'll wake up with a crocodile on his chest one night.
Mimic Nature said, have y'all figured out anything new about the aquatic isopods? They fascinate me. I wonder how wide their parameter tolerance is. I'm currently spreading mine through my Neo tanks. So we've noticed that they can take Neo tanks, not so much Caridina tanks. They don't seem to like the softer water, so it must be they like more of the minerals in the water, so they might be getting more to it. Just like any actual regular isopods, they need more minerals and things like that. So I would say Neo tanks are the way to go for any of them. And I don't think we've found out anything more than that. They do like moss and things, and just they're like kind of like shrimp. They like to feed on decaying stuff, so like moss and stuff, like any decaying plants, they'll enjoy. So,
but on other like crossbreeding and like how many different varieties and stuff like that, haven't done any other research with them. I'm ready for this one though. Bring it.
Zach says, if you guys start a zoo, I'll definitely make time to come visit.
Listen, you won't have a choice. I know people, Danikin, Alex, I'll have them kidnap you. They'll drive down from Seattle, they'll grab you, and they'll bring you to Florida, and we're going to build some ponds, man. Nobody builds ponds like you do.
You're so cute. Oh. Big Steve had peacocks. They were cool. Yeah, there's a lot of peacocks in the area already, so those would be easy. I just can't stand them. They just sound like a giant cat out back that just won't shut up. They really are annoying. No more isopods, land shrimp. No, we are not going to do that until I am set up somewhere that I could do that. That was something that was going to be after my fish room, and the fish room is not coming, so it's going to be a long time, but I'm going to have my dad help me set up bins and everything, which my dad's bins could also be a good a good rat breeding program too. So,
Yeah.
so I don't even want to talk about it. How do these people do snake breeding? Oh, it's so gross. And it's just like they're cute, but like they're also gross. I just can't do it. I want to look at them through a camera on my screen on my phone and not touch them.
But when we're ready to get back into the isopods, though, we've got a lot of people that'll give us cultures back and stuff. So it'll be a quick re-entry into that hobby when we're ready.
Yep, and you know who they are. And Sam said, do an ADG style gallery, aquascape gallery. We definitely want to do something like that. Also want to do in our, house in the future, something more of a big kind of like our house would be like a gallery, where only certain people get to actually enjoy the house, and the warehouse and the zoo and everyone else can go there. But to be welcomed in the house, it's more of a fancy gallery. And like, how cool would it be? Little hors d'oeuvres. Who wants to be the little person with the hors d'oeuvres? Can we get little people holding hors d'oeuvres? That'd be cool.
So I want to have like all nice skate tanks all wrapped around, and then just one wall with all the product, and then part of that wall would be like the refrigerator with all the plants and everything like that. So that would just be the display, and then it would be awesome if we could just have the warehouse in the back with all the aquariums, and the common public doesn't go back there ever,
Passy Wynn said, my wife is a real estate agent in Florida. If you need anything, let us know. We're happy to help. That is awesome.
Appreciate it. We do have one friend that has an in with the insurance company that might help us get approved. So fingers crossed. There's hope. It's just I'm ready for the worst case situation at this point.
Mimic, hopefully your year turns around as well. And Sam did say anacondas are illegal in Florida. Why are you even trying to offer to us that? Oh, man. That's funny. Everything is native to Florida now. Yes.
So orange-eyed red tiger lily. These are basically orange-eyed red tibies that have more color, more striping than normal orange-eyed red tigers. They're really cool in coloration. That tiger lily is going to be passed on to a bunch of other different, basically tivy, tiger-looking orange-eyed phenotypes. There's the yellow tiger lily, and then a blue tiger lily as well, which looks like an orange-eyed blue tiger, but you can tell it doesn't have the right striping and pattern and coloration to it.
Yes, Sam, it was a dwarf caiman. Yeah, we obviously realized we would not get a whole crocodile.
Not yet.
Yeah. Stop it.
Not at this property.
Zach said, don't threaten me with a good time. Those ponds we built are practically on my resume. Yeah, your resume is already filled out to come work for our zoo. So, like, I'm just letting you know.
Just waiting for you to get
You're
tired of
already hired.
Oregon. I figured it took you like 18 years to get tired of Florida. It's just a matter of time before you're tired and you want to come back.
Everyone gets sucked back to Spring Hill, you know. Mimic said, maybe try isopods and tiger tanks where TDS is higher. I know you haven't tried. I might. Just a thought. I keep my black tiger orange eye at 220. Might throw in a few isopods to see how they do. So fun fact, my fish rack was also supposed to be where we're doing the tangerine tigers at, tiger tanks at a higher TDS, since I would have like a full rack to do all the water changes at the same time, the same TDS. And so that would be interesting to do if we ever get to that. So Matt said, would I be allowed at the house? I don't know. Maybe.
I'd probably have to find a place for the dogs to go. I got a feeling Shrimp's not going to like you. I'm just kidding.
Sam said after Dallas Aqua Shella, we should go to ADG.
I've always wanted to go.
Right there. And then he'll be in Florida for fishing focus trip in March. mostly near. We are so busy in March.
Yeah, there was a lot
might not
going on
even
in
be here.
March. I have my calendar done though, Sam. I can give you my dates.
DJ Owen, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says I almost bought a black caiman alligator. Get you one, bro.
I thought
Look
these
at that,
things
we're
were like a
funding
couple
it.
$1,000, and then I
Mhm.
found out it's $350. And I'm looking at Shelby, and I'm holding it in my hand, and I'm like, it's not biting
It was so
me.
cute.
Let's just bring it home. And then by the end of the night, she's like, we got to get this thing. And then I looked into it, and we need a class 3 permit or class 2 permit. We have a class 3 permit, but yeah.
Yeah.
But I've seen like the containers for these that other YouTubers are keeping them in for the first couple of years of their life, and we could have easily set that up as soon as we got home. I've got Fluval canisters, I've got Zoom Egg canisters, I got everything I need ready to go for filtration. So
see, Zach, that's in the comments here, has seen us go and build a gigantic koi pond to get it running. You know, he knows all about how we will make the right environment for big animals like that. And I just saw someone made like a 500-gallon tub for their dwarf caiman croc, and it was absolutely so cool, and I had to share with Grant. So it'll definitely be cool.
all right, last thing on my list, and that is what happens when you cross orange eye with hollow eye. These are the only two eye morphs that are really out on the market. And yeah, I thought for the longest time that red ghosts were just a orange-eyed red ghost, and because of the coloration pigment, yellow King Kong orange eyes, it's kind of yellow. It's not really orange. There's definitely different hues when it comes to the orange eye. Some of them look like Shelby's shirt. Some of them look like the paper, but they all call them orange eye. But when it came to the red ghosts, I thought it was just like similar passed on. And then somebody's like, no, they're actually hollow. And when I saw a good up close picture of the hollow eye, you can see where the pupil just looks like it's missing. And that's why it gives it a hollow eye. It's just in essence clear and no pigmentation to it at all. So when crossing the orange eye with the hollow eye, I thought I was going to get like some weird version of an orange eye shrimp with an orange eye, but out of it came all normalized shrimp. You didn't have anything that was actually cool at all from those two crosses. I used black tiger orange eye with hollow eye, and I also used a orange-eyed yellow King Kong with the hollow eye as well. Both of them produce very different offspring results, but all of the eyes came out normal eye. So then I crossed them back with one another. I crossed them back with hollow eye, and I crossed them back with orange eye. And now I just have a variation of hollow eyes. I have a variation of orange eyes still. And then, of course, the normal eyes are all culled into their own tank now. But the hollow eye ones, some of them clearly look orange. Some of them clearly look red. And then some of them look red eye without any hollow coloration to them at all. And it's just been a really fun project. The black tiger orange eye cross with the hollow eye. I have some shrimp in there that look like the red King Kongs or the orange-eyed red devils. I don't have orange-eyed red devil yet, but I have the first step. I think after crossing them back, this is maybe possibly how they made the orange-eyed red devils. Not for sure, don't know for positive or whatever, but it's so weird how closely the shrimp look to one another. I don't know if they tried crossing them back with hollow eye, where we did that in one of the other tanks, and we made basically black tibies with hollow eyes, or black tibies, red tibies with hollow eyes. They wouldn't be red ghosts anymore. Now, I don't know if the red ghost is a mutation from Taiwan B. That could be quite possible, and that's just why you can use red ghosts instead of a Taiwan B to achieve the orange-eyed red devil. Again, we need one of you guys just to win the lottery so we can afford to do the DNA testing on these shrimp, because I have a lot of
Yeah,
theories.
they're gonna give it to us.
I have a lot of
Genetic testing.
educated guesses here, but in the end run, I just have a lot of data and photos of phenotypes that could be similar to other phenotypes. So
Zach said, "I'm surprised you guys haven't stumbled upon an alligator egg or something. No snapping turtles on the property anymore."
no snapping turtles.
Snapping turtles.
I do want to get my hands on one of those snapping turtles, the alligators crossed with the commons, because we can't have an alligator, but we can have those. So I would love to have those, or an albino snapper if we do go ahead and get another one. I think I would be down for one of those too. But yeah.
I don't even remember what happened with her. It's been so long since
we had a bad
snapping
storm and the fence blew down. And we never saw him again.
Terrible. Yep, love it. Jesse said, "I recently acquired a 900-gallon pond full of predatory fish, and I'll send you some pictures. I want to be able to acquire a 900-gallon pond. So, hook me up with wherever you acquired this. That sounds amazing."
Acquiring doesn't mean free.
Sometimes.
Sometimes
some people
does,
just give it up. It's too much work. That's so cool, though. I'm so jealous. And it's in his garage. I couldn't imagine. It would fit in our garage if we didn't have all of our stuff there. Sam said he'll win the lottery.
And then you can retire in Florida, and then you just be fishing all the time, right?
Cassie coming in 2024, the epic horror movie Hollow Wide Shrimp Man, starring Kevin Bacon. I can't. That's so good. Nano said, "Ever looked on how much that DNA testing would actually cost?"
Yes and no. I looked into it and found out that birds are only paying $12.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's nothing.
It depends on the type of species and the demand for it, because it's already been DNA tracked, and they already have all the markers for it. The problem is with shrimp, you'd have to find pure lines that were guaranteed pure and then get the markers, or figure out what markers it'd be a lot of time and money, and I don't know everything that would be involved, but I tried to get them to do it for turtles, and then it was a lot of work for myself, which I wasn't going to be paid, and no royalties or anything afterwards. So I was like, I'm not trying to do this for turtles. And then checked into it for nothing else after that, because it was just so much work.
I'm just imagining how big that 900-gallon pond is. Ours is 500 gallons, isn't it?
Which one?
The white one in the yeah, that's pretty big.
The blue ones were 900 gallons.
Were they? Oh yeah, we were swimming in those. Those are nice. I miss those. Scale says it's a commigator snapper. That's the only way I can read that. I don't know what it is about my brain. Just won't read that normally. Mimic said he would, if he won the lottery, some of it would go to testing shrimp genetics. Jesse
I don't have to win the lottery. I just have to get enough followers that one of them wins the lottery and supports my DNA testing dreams.
Jesse said, "I'm working on the hybrid grant." Zachary said, "I remember hearing about that storm."
Yeah, it wasn't like a hurricane or something like that we would have prepared for. It was just like some weird streamlined storm that knocked over a bunch of stuff in our backyard, and one of the trees fell on the turtle wall, and didn't notice that the turtle had taken advantage of that to escape at the same time.
Jesse said it was free. When you acquire something, usually it's free.
Sometimes.
And then Sam asked if Mark still has those big pond containers.
Who asked what?
Sam asked if Mark still had those big pond containers.
I'm not sure if he got rid of those or not. I know his backyard got cleaned up of a lot, and he's gotten rid of a lot. I don't know what's still there though.
I like turtles. That's all I can.
I like turtles.
That's how I'm reading it. We do have to share more turtle content on our on our YouTube channel. We don't share enough. Scotty said you guys need a property with a house and a huge garage, your finished barn or shop/warehouse, house for you guys, and a building for the shrimp.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I just wanted that to come in like a year and a half while we had time to finish this house. Ideally, I wanted to finish the house and then save for 2 years and move. That would have given us 2 years to film all 500 to 600 aquariums that we had. And then we could have slowly moved on our own time, where we could have properly planned and saved up for all of this. But now it's not going to be like that. Well, I mean, hopefully things could work in our favor, but I'm very negative Nancy now.
Zach said I did say that correctly. And Jesse said I want a Matamata turtle. Yeah, I love our Matamata. I can't wait to have another one. Yeah, we did have an opportunity, but that other one just wasn't right. It just wasn't the right time. I think we'll find one that's a lot healthier and looks better. And I can't believe how tired I'm getting. My eyes are glossing over. So
lucky
go back
for
on
you.
The orange eyes.
I've only got 2 more things on my list of orange eye mutations, and then I got a couple announcements to make. So pretty much this isn't a cross, but the only other mutation that I've ever gotten in the house out of that has been an eye morphs that nobody else has, that for sure I know is a mutation. Have no idea where it came from. I have a couple clues though, but the clues don't make sense. So let me explain this a little more. I got some golden bees off of somebody that I knew were not golden bees. They were way too red to look like golden bees. I thought for sure that they were red steels. Been selling them as red steels. Been selective breeding them as such and whatnot also. And everything tells me that they're red steels based off of when I crossed them with the cheetah shrimp. I got basically the craziest phenotypes off of the first generation of crosses there. F2s were throwing blue steels and everything else like that. So I definitely think that those were red steels. They had to have been in order to throw the double phenotype in that cross. However, what is not explained is we got some hollow eye or red eye. It's so hard to tell if it's hollow or red, but it's definitely not normal eye, and none of the other shrimp in the tank have this. I moved some of the reds into a different tank. One of those has it in that tank. So there's definitely something in the genetics that is producing a hollow eye or red eye kind of looking shrimp. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is we got one that has blue eyes. Now, are the red eyes albinos? They're just red and clear. There's no other pigmentation to those shrimp. It's a possibility. I don't think the hollow eyes are albino shrimp. Maybe it is. The orange eyes are definitely not albinos because they have pigment to them. Everything else is there. So the hollow eyes is weird. The blue eye is even weirder. My only concern about the blue eye is that it could possibly be blind. You know, like they're just foggy. They're not really blue, but on picture and everybody that I showed them to in person, they look like just a blue eye version of an orange eyed shrimp where there's no defined pupil or anything like that. I think if they were blind, you'd still see like a foggy style pupil or something to them. So definitely like the most interesting rare mutation shrimp that we've had in the house. So hopefully we can get that one to breed. I have gone through and culled out all the males out of that tank that weren't hollow eye or one of the crazy like blue steels. I couldn't cull the males out of that. So there's like 3 chances of the blue eye, or 1 in 3 chances that the blue eye are going to cross with one of the 15 females running around in the aquarium.
Professor Fishtanks, I want a musk turtle, smallest species. I think should be in a home aquaria. Yeah, most of them are pretty small, and they usually stay pretty small for quite some time. Like one of ours has been so little for so long. Like we literally have one that's like this big. It's so tiny.
The only other turtle that I would recommend for a home aquarium is a male-only diamondback terrapin. They stay about 6 inches in size. It will be the most personable, friendliest, nicest turtle to ever grace your presence. I promise you.
Yeah, it is super cool.
Where the musk turtle is like a mini snapping turtle. They always just want to try and bite your fingers off. So
they are really personable coming to the glass, but yeah, not for your fingers, that's for sure. Goodbye.
yeah, fingers are hot dogs.
It's so cute though. Sam said next week on my channel, shrimp video featuring TGOE. Nice. Zach, they're talking about D&D, which I wasn't invited to. How rude. And Zach was just saying, I just saw D&D, just got curious. And Nathan says, Grant, have you talked to that guy about the chameleons from Fort Myers club meeting? I've talked to him a few times about plants after that night, but nothing came in. No.
He never emailed me or reached out to me, and I don't know his name or contact information. So no, but I also haven't had time to like try and reach out to him either. So it's not something I've even thought about since I left the meeting, other than going to Miami, getting not skunked, but like just not the experience I wanted to. I would have much rather gone and try and found some chameleons with the guy.
Terrapins are illegal in New Jersey as they are native here. I didn't know that they were native here.
Yeah,
Is it the northern ones?
Yeah, they had the northern
Yeah.
diamondbacks.
See, that's the same here. You can only be grandfathered in to have the turtles now. You can't actually have them in Florida anymore. But we have ours, and that's the end of it. I'm sad. But at least we'll have ours for quite some time. I mean, we've already had the ones for like 10 years. And then we have their babies, so it's going to be a while. So we'll have those. It's just hopefully the laws will change by then. And we'll have some hope that we get to breed them, at least if we could breed them as a, for zoos and other places, and not, like we just got to take pictures of them anyway. So it's crazy. Zach said, I got big into D&D since I moved out here. It's awesome. Never played it. I wanted to, though. And then Spaghetti Nona said, are the scales prints you mentioned earlier new designs or restocks of the TGO exclusive ones? They are just more of the member only. So if you're a member for 12 months, we have the green kiwi shrimp that Sam Scales has painted us. More of those are coming because there is a ton of you that have been members with us for 12 months. You get a little package and we send those out to you. So, and then Sam said, can't have snapping turtles in California because Gavin is afraid of them. That's
California
funny.
has a lot of stuff that's illegal. That's why I just never even consider California as a possibility to move, even though it's a little southern state. But no.
Zach said he'll run a game for us.
Yeah, because I wasn't cool enough to play with you guys and Phil when you guys were here.
Clark said, Grant, when did your love of shrimp begin? Did you start with fish?
So my love of shrimp really started when I was dip netting and collecting as a wee little lad in the Weeki Wachee River. We moved here from Hawaii when I was 3, and I already knew how to swim. And there's a water park that's a stone throw away from our house, and I pretty much spent most of my summers going through the lazy lagoon with a little tiny guppy net, and I was catching shrimp back then, and I noticed that the shrimp would survive and last longer in the buckets than the fish would. So when it was a numbers game and I was trying to catch the most, I was catching shrimp. And then from there, there was some shrimp off of the docks in Hawaii when I'd spend my summers at sailing camp. And it was, I don't know, just something that when I stumbled upon the freshwater shrimp while we were doing chameleons, I was like, I could see myself keeping these. And then when we got rid of all the chameleons so I could do my dad's landscape business, I was like, let me get something. I need something in the house, and it kind of just took off. That's the short story. There's a long version of that.
It's a terrible story.
Terrible.
They were originally for my fish food. The first time he did say it, I was like, "Oh, you're gonna breed shrimp so I could feed them to my fish? Thanks."
There's this guy that posted on Craigslist, start a side business and raise money from home breeding red cherry shrimp. And no matter what you searched in pets on Craigslist, this ad came up. So
It was definitely gonna be for fish
I'm
food.
curious. Is it
Matt
there
said, "When did you realize you loved me, Grant?"
It's been so long. I don't know. I can't remember the moment. It feels like forever ago.
Oh man! But
Is that gonna be
are
it?
you done? Did you make all your announcements?
So we are filming a new video. Hopefully that will be out before the next live stream. It is of the new rack and us adding all the new shrimp onto that. So keep an eye out for that. Basically talked about the home insurance. Still waiting to hear about what hands out for that. We have Purells, Blue Bolts, Red Riding Hoods, and Shelby's Galaxies that will all be going up on the website this week. So if you're waiting for those are fully stocked and ready to go.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I don't want to forget.
Forget what?
2
Oh.
shrimp that we need to put on the website.
I would have
We're
gone
very
through the
forgetful.
website, saw those, and hit. You know what I mean? Ready.
Forgetful is what I just said. Not forgetful. Call the video. Shelby gets a new, bigger. Oh goodness gracious! No, thank you. It's not even my rack, honestly. One of the tanks looks like it's not even up there right now. Is it bigger? Did we add more tanks to this one, or did we actually lose?
Yeah,
tanks?
no, we added the old rack had 28 tanks. This one has 34, so we added 4 tanks. Does Craigslist not even have a pet thing anymore?
I don't know. I can't believe you're even on Craigslist.
I wanted
like,
to...
does anyone actually use Craigslist? The only people that use Craigslist are doing sketchy things.
Yeah, there's not even a pet thing anymore.
That's just
Damn.
all Craigslist is stolen stuff. Like the Amazon warehouse, they go on Craigslist and sell it because, like, who's gonna catch you? No one goes on Craigslist anymore.
Anymore. But yeah, I guess the ad might be harder to find than I thought.
Quiet.
Find out next week if the ad is still there or not. I'll look a little bit more tonight.
Quiet Money said, "Hey guys, any new shrimp types introduced to the hobby of late?"
Nothing really that's been introduced on the state side. There's nothing that I can not that I could announce or pick off the top of my head.
Yeah, your shrimp's like the only one, but it's not like a new type. It's just
yeah.
a new variant. So. Oh well, I guess the Peru one, but like we're not breeding them. I don't know if anyone is breeding them.
That's not really
yet.
part of the hobby.
Yeah, not yet. It will get there sooner than later. But thank you everyone for joining us tonight. It was nice to see a lot of people that joined us tonight. So thank you, appreciate it. Are you gonna say anything, Grant? Or
No,
I'm just gonna keep
that's
rambling?
gonna be it. Stay tuned next week and find out if shrimp is still a thing on Craigslist. That's all I got to say. Have a good night, everyone. See you guys.